Hey folks, Jimmy here, aka Palette of the Dead. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to the latest issue of good old Warhammer 40k Combat Patrol magazine. Now, as per usual with all these videos, if you like them, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, and of course, drop me a comment down below. Love hearing back from you guys. It goes a massive way to helping the channel too. I love hearing back from you guys, whether you get still collecting the magazine, whether you're collecting specific issues. Tell me how far you've got through the collection. Have you painted everything yet? Have you got through everything? Are you just building it all up and you're going to do it all in one go? Are you collecting just certain ranges? You know, let me know in the comments. Really do appreciate it. Anyway, this week's issue, issue 43. It is our good old Orc Boyz issue. So, super cool. We get 10 minis with this week's issue, instead of them deciding to break it down and give us 5 this week and 5 next week. All 10, one go. Super fantastic. Now, these are push fit minis, which is the biggest downside to them. However, they are cool. They are really good. I do like the good old Warhammer 40k orcs. There's just something a bit more fun and quirky about them. And obviously you have different routes you could go down. So if you do want a big orc army, you can go down the Beast Snagger route, you can go down just the Boyz route, or you can go down the Speed Freaks route, and go more vehicles, or you can go more Boyz heavy, you can go the squigs and everything like that. You have a few options for one army, or you can just have a mix mash of everything if you really wanted to. But yeah, I'm quite happy with this. Should be really good fun. And yeah, really enjoyable. And obviously this is not the only 10 Boyz that we're going to get. Anyway, enough talk about them for the moment. Going into the magazine, obviously we are greeted by our how to build guide. They are push fit minis. So you have options. You can go for the push fit standardly if you wanted to. However, I will always admit, push fit minis are not the best from GW. There are better manufacturers out there for push fit minis, so things like your Gundam, everything like that, they're designed for push fit and they fit properly, whereas GW leaves a little bit more to be desired. They have a bit of a habit to having a little bit of a gap in them and stuff like that, which is always a bit of a pain in the ass, in my opinion. But your choice. You can get rid of the peg and glue them together. You can, if you wanted to, slightly trim the peg down so it actually fits properly into the hole. Your choice. But yeah, there's ways around it. So, and obviously when you have these unsightly seam lines, just like with any mini, if you have the sanding sticks or anything like that, whether you have the good old sanding loops, whether you have the Gundam style ones or anything like that, you can smooth things over and make it a little bit more seamless if you utilize the tools that are available to you. Now, one thing I will say is you don't want to use metal hobby files because they leave flat spots and they're a little bit too abrasive sometimes. But things like your sanding sticks, so you can buy sets of these from good old Amazon, fairly cheap. You can get multiple grits and they'll go pretty well. So yeah, there's ways around it and sorting it out nicely, keeping yourself some nice looking minis at the end of it. Anyway, you have well, you don't really have options actually for these guys. These are very much kind of bung them all together. You have a slight option for the different orc boss knob, and then everything else is very much pop it together and away you go. Not really a much selection kind of mini range, unfortunately, which is a bit frustrating, but it is what it is, and they still look cool at the end of the day, so you can't argue too much. When you're done, you're going to have 10 Orc Boyz, and they are going to be ready to fire some slugs, chop some stuff, shoot some stuff, and all that good stuff. Anyway, moving on to the painting side of things. Now, I'm going to bang on, as per usual, about spray paint. Spray paint is your friend. In the UK at the moment, obviously we have nice warm weather. You want to be going for around about the 20 degrees centigrade. Yeah, you don't really want to go anything further than 20 degrees. 20 degrees is an ideal temperature. If you're going too cold, it leaves it too wet, it won't dry properly, and can become runny and patchy and a bit. If you go too hot, the paint starts to dry before it even touches a mini, so it leaves it very chalky. So you have to kind of balance it, which is easier said than done sometimes, but it can be done. That is the main thing. So, anyway, paint it up. A bad and black spray paint, or the equivalent from good old Colourforge or anywhere like that. So matte black is the Colourforge equivalent. There are equivalents from good old Army Painter. There are equivalents from Vallejo. There are your cheaper brands from Halfords and B&M and places like that. If you want to use those, they will do generally exactly the same job. So yeah, spray paint is your friend. It can work absolute wonders. Obviously, you're going to want to go over it in short bursts and go back and forth, and then turn the mini and go back and forth and try to get in all them little nooks and crannies. If you're a little bit too light on it, it'll leave it patchy. If you're too heavy on it, it'll fill all the gaps and the detail, which you do not want. So, yeah, just practice makes perfect with spray paint. Anyway, once you've base coated or undercoated your mini, you need to start layering up with all your bases. So lead belcher will work wonders over your metals. If you want to go for a slightly darker tint to your metallics, go for Iron Warriors. Does exactly the same job. It's just slightly darker, which can work really, really well, especially when you're layering over Nuln Oil over the top of it and things like that. Obviously, for your greens, you're going to want Auric Flesh is probably your best medium tone. You can go different shades of green if you wanted to. If you really, really want to be a fancy pants about it, go different shades of green for your orcs. So you can go for Auric Flesh, you can go slightly darker, you can go slightly lighter, with different shades for different ones. So you can have a bit of variation if you wanted to. You don't have to, though. In all honesty, it's far easier to keep them fairly uniform, and away you go. Following the colour guide actually works pretty well, in all honesty, for these guys. So you're going to want things like your Screamer Pink in for the tongue, you're going to want your Wraithbone for teeth and horns and such like that, and Corax White in certain areas, and away you go. Then you're going to want to obviously shade up. Now, shading works brilliantly, it'll work wonders. If you're putting over a load of shade, the way this kind of does tell you, which is a really, really good tip, once you go over the Auric Flesh with your Celia green shade, layer over with Auric Flesh afterwards to remove some of the patchiness, and you then re-highlight the kind of high parts of the mini, which adds a bit more definition to the mini and the look of the skin tone, for instance. And then later on we may get a different shade of green. I don't actually 100% know, I might be wrong on that, which we can then just give the edge highlights on certain areas. So things like you do see a few veins and stuff like that on the muscles, on the rippling muscles of these Oryx. Edge highlighting on those with a lighter shade of green works wonders, makes it pop. So really, really good stuff. When you're done, you're going to have something that looks like this. Obviously, this is not the end of it. There is more to do, so there is little bits and tweaks and kind of bits that you can do, including edge highlighting your armor. If you want to do some of the white patterning design, you can try. It's entirely up to you. If you do feel like you've made a mess of it, you can go back over with a bad and black and fix it. So if you make a mistake, it's fixable. Do not worry, but you can do it if you wanted to. If you want to draw things like the barrels of the guns as well, you can do. Entirely up to you. Now, carrying on from there. Obviously, we get our collect page, so you get to give them their unit name and a background for your good old orc boys. And you get the data sheet on your side. Obviously, we already have a data card, so we know what these guys are all about. So, pretty good stuff. Then we get another collect page. So this is giving us all our orc unit names. So you can roll for these, which is sometimes a very fun way of doing it. And yeah, happy days. So if you wanted to, and you want to do it very, very quickly, obviously you have these tablet tables. You can either roll 1d6 twice to get your column and then your row and stuff like that, or pick 2 different colour dice. Pick one to be your primary and one to be your secondary. So one to be vertical, one to be horizontal. Roll them both together. Away you go. Speeds things up a little bit. And then obviously you can give in, you've got all your different names, whether you're going to go for, I don't know, Git Stompers, the Green Gits, the good old Leg Snappers, which are always really fun, Ed Stompers, and all that stuff. There's some fun names in there, so why not? Then, moving on, we get our scenario for the week, so a good crumping. So you're going to get your Tyranids on one side, you got your terrain, you got your Orcs deployment zone on the other side. Going into this, you get to have a little bit of fun at the end of it, and you know, it's a very, very smashy one. So, I mean, Tyranids love to kill everything, Orcs love to kill everything, so they are a very, very adversarial kind of a combat patrol. So you can have a bit of fun with them with that. And yeah, you just get to enjoy yourself, so why not? So you get to do a bit of looting, get to do a bit of shooting, and having a bit of fun. So, happy days. Then obviously you can replay it over time if you wanted to, so you can go with your good old Infernus Marines, you can go with your Guardian Defenders or your Legionaries as well, going up against the Orcs, and have that Green Tide kind of battle going on throughout pretty much multiple rounds if you really, really wanted to. Entirely up to you. Then we're going to move on to what's coming up next week, which is fairly straightforward. So next week, Administratum Grey is a light shade of grey paint. There is one shade lighter that GW do, which is Grey Seer. You know, I'm not going to lie, Administratum Grey, I'll use it. It does work very, very well for things like your stone bases. So, for instance, if I grab this base, which is from the Gold Chaplain, with this one, I've gone over Mechanica Standard Grey, and then I've gone over with Dawnstone, and then I've dry brushed over Administratum Grey to give the lighter edge highlights. Probably needs another coat of it just to kind of bring it and make it pop a little bit better, but you can do things like that with it. Edge highlights on some things works very, very well. And you can just use it as a block colour. It's entirely up to you. The other thing we get is Astro Granite, which is a texture paint. Do not use a paintbrush with that because it will ruin paintbrushes. Not going to lie. I've done it before with older paintbrushes where I've not really cared about them. And it does jam them up, clogs them up, makes them not very good. And yeah, the way to do it is with the little tool that we get here, which is our good old texture spreader, which is one of these bad boys. I talked about it a little bit last week. Handy little tool. They have these 2 flexible ends, and semi-flexible ends. So one which is a bit wider and one that's a bit narrower. So obviously one's for just the general spread, and one's for getting into the little nooks and crannies and pushing into it. Astro Granite is a bit of a sandy kind of grey paint. It works good for moonscapes and stuff like that. You don't have to use it though. If you really, really wanted to, you can buy things like the good old diorama effects for good old, from, I think it's Vallejo, if I remember rightly, but do that one. You can buy Sterling Mud, you can use good old Agrelian Badlands and all that type of stuff. You have a few other different ones that I can't really remember all the names of. There's things like Valhallan Blizzard, which is more like a snow, which really, works very well if you're using a couple of textures. So like Sterling Mud and then your Valhallan Snow makes it look like it's got a bit of a snow cover on there and stuff like that. But texture spreaders are your friend. Literally, they're very, very easy to clean. Once you used enough and you spread enough on there, literally a bit of kitchen roll cleans it up nice and well. And no washing, which is always good fun. Moving on from there, issue 45, more Orc Boys for the collection. So our second lot of them. Yeah, the Orc Boys were just fun, aren't they? They were pretty cool, pretty interesting, pretty different. And we get new missions, new scenario, all that good stuff. After that, though, we have some other really, really good bits to look forward to with the Orcs. So we have the Boomdagger Snazwagon, we have the good old Recopters. I've forgotten what they're called now. My mind's gone completely blank. Yeah, there's going to be some really, really good stuff. And then the next 10 issues, so from issue 51 through to 60, we're going to get the good old Leagues of Votan, which are pretty cool, and you get a bit of an image of what they're like there. So they have the good old Halfkin, they have the Sagittur and stuff like that, which is their vehicle, one of their vehicles. There's the good old Hecaton Land Fortress, which is a super cool vehicle, which I must admit I haven't got yet, and I probably should get myself one at some point. But there are some really, really cool bits and pieces for them, so it should be really, really good fun. Going to be really enjoyable, and a lot of stuff to look forward to. So yeah, happy days. That is enough from me, though. Thank you very, very much for watching, and yeah, I'll see you sometime soon. Bye bye now.